Greetings to all. This is a session on Panchayati Raj. We'll be talking about the evolution of Panchayati Raj, the concept of Panchayati Raj, and also the small discussion on Gram Sabha as a part of three-tier structure. So, beginning with the presentation, what is Panchayati Raj? Introduction. Panchayati Raj basically is a system of rural local self-government in India. This concept of local self-government basically implies the management of local affairs by such local bodies who have been elected by the local people per se. It has been established in all the states of India with this objective to establish democracy at the grassroots level. And this form of governance got implemented through the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1992, along with the PESA Act, the Panchayat Extension to Scheduled Areas Act of 1996. And in the present form and structure, it has already completed roughly 27 years of its existence. However, there's a lot that needs to be done in order to further decentralize and strengthen the democracy at the grassroots level. Now, this concept of Panchayati Raj, basically it's not a new concept that we see in Indian context. It has very ancient roots. In the old Sanskrit scriptures of the Vedic era, the word Panchayatan has been mentioned as a group of 5 persons, including a spiritual man. Gradually, this concept of inclusion of spiritual man got vanished. Then, in the Rig Vedic era, there was this mention of Sabha, Samiti, Vidhata as a local self units. These were democratic bodies at the local level, and the king used to get the approval of these particular bodies regarding certain functions and the decisions that had to be made. Even in the epics like Ramayana indicated the administration that is divided into 2 parts. The Pur, that means city, and the Janpat, that means village. So in the whole of the state, there was a caste panchayat and one person who was elected by the caste panchayat as a member of King's Council of Ministers, like we have the cabinet today, right? Self-government of village finds ample expression in the Shanti Parva of even Mahabharata. There is Gramik, which was the chief official of the village, Dashap, who was the chief of 10 villages. What did I do? Okay, where were we? Gramik, the chief official of the village, Dashap, the chief of 10 villages, and Vinshya Adhipati. There was Shat Gram Adhyaksh, Shat Gram Pati, who were the chiefs of some 20, 100,000 villages respectively, right? And their main role was to collect the taxes, the local taxes, responsible for defense of their villages, and things like that, in the administrative purposes. During the Sultanate period also, the Sultans of Delhi, they divided their kingdom into provinces called Vilayat. Now for the governance of a village, there were 3 important officials. Mukaddam, who was for the administration per se, Patwari for collection of revenues, and Chaudhary for the settling of the dispute with the help of Panch. Under the British regime also, this concept was there, but gradually it lost its autonomy. It became weak, though it did not vanish out. It got weaker. Then in 1990, there were Montagu-Chelmsford reforms, also called as Montfort reforms. They transferred the subject of local government to the domain of the provinces per se. Then in 1925, there were 8 provinces who passed the Panchayats Act, and later in 1926, 6 more added their approval. By post-independence, we have many constitutional changes. Like our constitution was brought in, then we had constitutional provisions setting up. There were later constitutional amendments happening, especially the 73rd and 74th constitutional amendment. So when we talk initially, there was Article 40 from our DPSP, which made this mention of panchayats. Article 246 empowered the state legislature to legislate with respect to any subject that is relating to self-government. And in 1957, Balwant Rai Mehta Committee, it's a very famous committee, that came out as a backdrop of Etawah project. It basically suggested a three-tier Panchayati Raj institution composing of Gram Panchayat, the Panchayat Samiti, and the Zilla Parishad. Later, in 1977, also there was Ashok Mehta committee who recommended this two-tier PRI Panchayati Raj institution consisting of Zilla Parishad and the Mandal Panchayat. Over time, we have seen many committees appointing. For example, a very famous commission of Sarkaria Commission that came up. Then there was HS Khara committee, Thungan committee, many. Also, there was one in response to the recommendations of LM Singhvi committee. There was a bill introduced in the Lok Sabha by Rajiv Gandhi's government in July 1989. It aimed to constitutionalize the Panchayati Raj institutions, but then the bill was not passed in Rajya Sabha. Later, VP Singh's government also brought a bill, but the fall of government resulted in the lapse of the bill. Then PV Narasimha Rao's government also introduced a bill for this purpose in Lok Sabha in 1991. And then it was the time when the bill finally emerged as our 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1992, and it was enforced in 1993 April. Okay. Also, the Constitutional Amendment Bill, the 74th Constitutional Amendment Bill, combined bill for the PRIs and the municipalities, was introduced in 1990s, but was never taken up for discussion. And it happened during the Narasimha Rao's government that a comprehensive amendment was introduced in form of the Constitution 72nd Amendment Bill in 1991. Then later on, both the amendments were passed by Parliament in 1992, though the amendments, the local self-governance was introduced in urban and the rural India. Okay, through these amendments only we can say that right now we have the constitutional provision of the Panchayati Raj institutions and the local governance, the rural governance, self-government at the rural level per se. Okay. Now, what are these amendments basically? These amendments added two new parts to the constitution, namely Part 9, entitled the Panchayats, that was added through the 73rd Amendment, and Part 9A, which is entitled the Municipalities, which was added by 74th Constitutional Amendment. Now basically they provision this three-type system of panchayat at the village, block, taluk, mandal and the district level, except in the states which are having the population below 20 lakhs. Okay. Now their seats were also filled through direct elections, some positions by indirect elections from the members of that committee itself. There was a proper reservation criteria followed for scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, women, 1/3 reservation for women, etc. in the proportion, in the respective proportion to the total population of that place, of that village, or for the matter the district per se. Now there are uniform 5-year plan, 5-year term, and the election to constitute new bodies to be completed before the expiry of the term. The 74th Amendment provides for a district planning committee to consolidate the plans prepared by panchayats and the municipalities, and in conformity with the provisions in the Constitution Amendment Act, an act called PESA Act was also passed by the government in 1996. Okay. A Panchayati Raj system was established in accordance to the 73rd Amendment and is a three-tier structure which is based on the direct elections at the 3 tiers, that is village, intermediary and the district level. All the members in the panchayat are directly elected. The middle level panchayats, the intermediaries, are generally known as panchayat samitis. The amendment provides for the continuous existence of panchayats. The normal term for a panchayat is 5 years. If a panchayat is dissolved earlier, then the elections are held within 6 months. Now also the power and authority are necessary to enable the panchayats to become institutions of the self-government at the grassroots level. So this responsibility is given to them to prepare plans for economic development, for social justice, with regards to certain important matters which are mentioned in the 11th schedule of a constitution, such as agriculture, the primary, secondary education, health, sanitation, drinking water, rural housing, the welfare of the weaker sections, and even forestry is a part of it. Yeah. So this is generally a brief overview of the role and constitutionality of panchayats per se. Now this 3-tier structure. What is this? So the 3-tier structure basically composed of gram panchayat, also called as village panchayat. There's panchayat samiti and zilla parishad, wherein the zilla parishad is at the top level and the gram panchayat is at the bottommost level of this pyramid. So starting with zilla parishad, this is the third and the top of 3-tier of this PRI. It is an elected body. The chairperson or the block pramukh of block samitis, these are also represented in Zilla Parishad. The chairperson of a Zilla Parishad is called Adhyaksh or president, who is elected indirectly by and from the members of those elected members who are already there in the committee. The members of the state legislature and the members of the parliaments of India are the members of the Zilla Parishad. The role of Zilla Parishad is basically to coordinate their activities, supervise their function, to prepare district plans, integrate the Samiti plans into district plans and for the submission to the state governments. Then it also looks after the development work in the entire district. It undertakes the schemes to improve agricultural production, exploit the groundwater resources, it extends the rural electrification, distribution of employment generating activities, constructing roads and many public works. It also performs the welfare functions, the relief for the natural calamities, establishment of orphanage, poor homes, night shelters, and the welfare of women, child, and lot many related to the issues of employment, the economy, and the social justice of the society. The second tier is the Panchayat Samiti. It is a local government at a taluka or say the tehsil level. It works for the villages of the tehsil that together are called as development block. The Panchayat Samiti is a sort of a link between the Gram Panchayats, the village council, and the Zilla Parishad. So there are a number of variations in the names of this institution in different states. For example, if we say of Andhra, they use the word Mandal Praja Parishad, whereas in Gujarat they are Taluka Panchayat. So it's very localized term that they use. The chairman of Panchayat Samiti is called Pradhan. Now there are some functions that are interested upon Panchayat Samiti, such as in the departments of agriculture, land improvement, watershed development, the social and farm, forestry, vocational education, etc. Also, it implements some specific plans or schemes of programs where the funds are earmarked. It means that Panchayat Samiti has to spend some money only on the given specific project. Okay. So this is about Panchayat Samiti. The third tier, the lowest unit, comes the village panchayat, the Gram Panchayat. Now in this structure of Panchayati Raj, this is the lowest unit. There's a panchayat for each village or a group of villages in case the population happens to be too small. Gram Sabha is the general body of the villagers, which consists of all the adults residing within the jurisdiction of the panchayat. The panchayat is also accountable for all of its actions to the Gram Sabha. It chiefly consists of the representatives elected from within the village itself. The chairman is elected from among its members and it's known as Sarpanch. Sarpanch is an ex officio member of the Panchayat Samiti and it participates in the decision making as well as the election of the Pradhan and of the members of various standing committees. Now, the primary function of Gram Panchayat is basically to help with the implementation and the other development programs and schemes of the Panchayat of all the tiers. reaching to the bottommost level, that is the unit of society, to the families, to the individuals per se. So this is a brief idea of what PRI is, Panchayati Raj Institution is. So these are 2 practice questions for you. Define Panchayati Raj Institution and what is the 3-tier structure of Panchayati Raj Institution. Thank you.